Hey, good evening, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a good night. I'm getting a little bit on the late side tonight. I do apologize. Had a lot of stuff going on this evening after work, so wanted to give an update on what we can expect this weekend. Even though we are about 9 o'clock right now, but want to kind of give everybody kind of a heads up what we've got going on. We have a very, very active stretch next week. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to look at a couple of models with you guys. I'll try not to go over your heads. I try to make everything very, very simple. And then I will end with our forecast for the weekend. I know a lot of people have plans over the weekend, so we'll take a look at that here in just a moment. Good evening, Catherine. We'll give it just a little bit here before we kind of get started. Make sure everybody has a chance to jump on here, and if you're on, take a look right down here on the corner of your screen. Again, I want to give a shout out to Drew Willings. Hooked me up with some awesome titles for my page. They're watermarks to keep other people from stealing some of your content. So he goes above and beyond for me. So, and he did a great job. Hey, Alan. Man, I miss you in the stream, Bubba. Hopefully things are going well. And Janet, hello to you. Is Lucky already in bed? Hi, Carmen. All right, we've got a few in here tonight. And again, if you missed part of it, you can always go back. It will be up on our page in its entirety once we get done with our stream. So first off, we do have a marginal risk. We do have a marginal risk for severe storms tomorrow on Saturday, and that's likely going to be for the round of thunderstorms coming in the morning. I've been a little bit tonight. I was working a little bit with Torcon, with our nationwide team. Man, Kansas, Texas getting hammered again. I tell you what, Tornado Alley is alive and well this year. That's for sure. And we're getting into severe storm season. Very, very active week coming up next week. So and again, so here is the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. And again, this is going to be mainly for the morning line of storms. We have a line of storms out in Kansas right now, putting several severe thunderstorm warnings out on the board. So that line will be moving across west central Missouri in the morning till about noon, and we'll go over the short-term model projection of radar, but it's looking like around noon. Hopefully we start to dry out, and really there's not going to be a whole lot going on the rest of the day. Now we might have a pop-up shower or a thunderstorm later on in the afternoon, but at least it's not going to be a total washout. So, hi Belinda. There you are, Lucky. That's okay. We can all be quiet. There's nothing wrong with that. So then we go into Sunday. Right now we're gonna see some thunderstorms on Sunday. They're gonna be kind of hit and miss. We're gonna have decent temperatures, and we're not gonna have anything expected to be severe. So we'll have a break, and that's good because we're gonna need it. Because as we go into next week, the day 4 parts of west central Missouri is kind of in that slight risk, and I do kind of expect this to shift just a little bit. And the main reason is because the dew points, some of the ingredients are kind of coming together for a significant outbreak in central Kansas and into all the way up here into the Dakotas. So, in which this doesn't really signify it, but I think that a tornado outbreak could be in central Kansas all the way up here into the Dakotas, but that's just my thinking. But regardless, we're going to be seeing some of these residual thunderstorms make their way across the state line on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, they're not going to be washouts. We're going to have plenty of moisture in the air. It'll be up into the at least 80. So we are going to have conditions ripe for thunderstorm development. And here in a moment, I'll show you the upper level winds and why I think we will be getting some pretty good thunderstorms, at least around west central Missouri, if not in west central Missouri. So, and then of course we go to day 5. So in between day 4 and 5, now you notice we were barely on the edge, now we're over here. Well, between day 4 and 5, typically overnight, we're going to see our area be kind of under the gun. And then we go to day 6, and we're right back into it again. So to have these slight risk and enhanced risk at 4, 5, 6 days out from the National Weather Service, kind of gives you a pretty good indication we're going to have a at least a similar outbreak like we did last week. We're just kind of crossing our fingers, and I don't see it being another storm system that's going to dump as much rain as what it did. So, but we will be getting enough rain that's going to aggravate all the flooding that's going on. Remember, whatever happens in, say, eastern Kansas, west central Missouri, up north, all that trickles downhill into our rivers and creeks, and they're all at bank full. They're in flood stage right now, so that's going to definitely exaggerate those problems that we are having right now. So that right there is kind of the gist of what we got going on next week. They're not going to be washouts. I know a lot of ball games will be going on in the evenings, and that's typically about the time we're going to be having chances for storms. So we're just going to have to be weather aware through the course for the first half of next week. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going to be causing all of this. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here. And of course, this is the 500 millibar chart. You guys know how well I believe in the 500 millibar chart. This is 18,000 feet above our heads. We can see where those strong winds are steering these lows and the highs, the ridges and the troughs, and we get a pretty good idea of what's going to happen based on how they even look. Even their shape can tell us what's going to happen. So I'm going to just bring over my little helpful cursor. So we're going to set this in motion, and this is going to be Saturday, and notice we've got tomorrow is not going to be a big day for us, and this is going to happen in the morning. Be a line of storm that's already formed, so I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this. Just maybe up to a half inch of rainfall in the morning, maybe a little bit more, as well as some lightning, and maybe the potential to see a couple of borderline severe cells with maybe some large hail. But the big system I'm watching is going to be this system out here. This is going to be a powerhouse that's going to affect us. Now, as this thing comes on shore from California, and it comes up here, we get to Monday and Tuesday. So here's Monday's setup. Let me go back one screen. So this is where I feel the biggest threat is going to be right here. Now we'll take a look at the dew points, because you got to have moisture in order for thunderstorms to happen. But these are insane winds that is going to be acting on a front. We're going to have kind of a cut-off low pressure system. And when you have a low pressure system that kind of separates itself from the rest of the flow, it begins to intensify even more. So this is going to be a strong system. And where we see these stronger winds, the darker reds here, now that's typically where we're going to find the stronger storms. Okay, now notice, and I've talked about this several times, we talk about a positive or a negative tilted trough. And I don't think I really explained that too much to you guys, other than it allows for better lift, which it does. But I'm just going to show you that this here is going to be a negative tilted trough. And what I mean by that is, you notice how it's tilted. It's tilted from northwest to southeast. Now, what that does is, let me clear this out. What that allows it to do is, the strongest part of the low pressure system is sitting out here in front. So if you have ample amount of moisture and the ingredients are right, you begin to have thunderstorms erupt right here where the best moisture is at. And guess what? You got the strongest wind profiles as well. Now if it tilted the other way, going from northeast to southwest, these stronger winds are going to be on the backside. So as this storm hits that rich, moist air, the strongest part of the low pressure system isn't there, and you start to cloud up the atmosphere with rain, thunder showers, and they're not quite as intense. So that's why I say a negative tilted trough, you stand the best potential to be able to see some stronger thunderstorms, and that's exactly what we have here. Now this is going to be for Monday, and then as we go into Tuesday, we see those that's up here in the Dakotas, South Dakota. This will be a hot spot. Now right after that, going into Tuesday, we get a secondary. Anywhere where you see these little red areas, those are your intense winds. Okay, and the leading edge of those intense winds is typically where you find your stronger storms. So with the dew point being in the mid 60s, almost 70 degrees, and we start to see the strengthening of these winds over west central Missouri, that also increases our risk to see some severe weather, even as we go into Wednesday. And you see the big, huge trough digging in right here. This will be Tuesday afternoon. And then again, we start to see some of these little reds starting to pop up here around west central Missouri. And then eventually it's going to move off, and then we're going to finally get to clear out a little bit, and we'll have a ridge that will start to bump up here over the Midwest, and kind of hoping maybe we start to slow things down a little bit once we get past Wednesday. So right now, next weekend is actually looking pretty nice. So let me jump over here to chat, make sure I hadn't lost anybody yet. Can you guys hear me okay? Got somebody said that we lost audio. I'll wait just a moment. Okay, so Scott can hear me. Oh, now, okay. Well, it must have just kind of faded out. So, good. All right, so let's go ahead and so that's kind of the science behind this potential severe outbreak for next week. So wanted to kind of fill you in on some of that, and also we're gonna have a look at the dew points real quick. And it's really nice out there today. We had low dew points. We had a nice breeze. It was beautiful out there today. We'll start to see the dew points really start to pump up from the south as we go into later on into the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at that plume of moisture coming up here on Monday and Tuesday. Dew points in the mid 60s, upper 60s. And then, of course, once that system comes through the first time on Monday into Tuesday, then it resets itself. Now we get dew points back up into the mid 60s, and we have yet another round of thunderstorms. So it's going to be a very, very active next 4 to 6 days. So make sure everybody stays weather aware come starting on Monday. Kind of look at what we can expect for tomorrow morning and through the day. We use the short-term model, the HRRR, and we put this into motion. This is about 11 o'clock tonight, and you notice this line of pretty strong thunderstorms. This was all out in Kansas that was creating all the severe thunderstorms. They will be weakening as they move to the east, so we do have that going for us. But as they come through, this is about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're going to have an area of some scattered thunderstorms throughout west central Missouri. And as we go later on through the day, we'll still have some showers, some residual thunder showers. And then by about noon, we start clearing out. And really, outside of a stray little thunderstorm here and there in the afternoon, really not picking up a whole lot for Saturday afternoon. So that's great news. And then, of course, as we go into Sunday morning, the bullseye is really going to be down here along the I-44 corridor. Now, a few of these showers, thunder showers, might make their way into west central Missouri, but for the most part, most of the activity is going to stay to our south, and we will just have a few showers throughout the day on Sunday. So that's what we have in store overnight into tomorrow. And again, our severe threat, that marginal risk of thunderstorms, is going to be associated with that line that comes in first thing in the morning. So we definitely want to kind of keep an eye on that. I'll be watching that line of storms. I will be working tomorrow at my real job. So up until I get there around 8 o'clock, I'll be watching this line of storms, updating if need be. But just remember, I will be at work. That's why it's so important to have multiple means to be able to get your warnings and your watches. So, the app's on the phone. You can go to subbysweathertalk.com. Check out all the up to the minute warnings and watches there. And of course, right here on our advisory page, you can check out all the latest automated warnings and watches that come out every second. So definitely encourage you guys to use that. Now, before we go into the final forecast, I did get a couple questions tonight, and I'm just going to show you guys a little bit. There's a question. There was a tornado that was out in Kansas over the weekend that was actually, when you look at radar and look at the rotation of that thunderstorm, as far as from a velocity radar standpoint, one of the strongest that many of us have ever seen before. But it stayed out in rural areas, and it was only rated as a EF0 or EF1. And the reason is because the enhanced Fujita scale, the EF scale, is based on damage, not actual wind speed. So, it was very, very strong, had an eye in the center, almost like a hurricane. That eye, that donut hole, is what I look for as I'm watching storms come through our area here in west central Missouri. I look for hail cores, I look for updrafts, and one of the things that I do not show you guys that is on, I've got several screens in front of me on top of a couple laptops that are going during severe storm outbreaks. And one of the software programs that I use is actually GR2. And I'm just going to bring that over here real quick because I want to show you guys everything that I do to watch this area to try to give advanced warnings. Now, we do use Radar Mega. I use that a lot. But what's so nice about this particular software, this is out in Kansas and Texas, Oklahoma, so it's nothing that's happening here. But I want to show you guys what I am able to do. So we have a cell here that I'm wanting to look at how big that hail core is. What I am able to do is use 3D rendering. And I'm going to do that right now for you. And I'm going to draw a box, say right here. And this is what it allows me to do. I can actually, I'm going to put this on hail. And I can see exactly how high those clouds are. This particular cell has cloud tops of 30,000 feet above our heads. This purple right here is actually a hail core at about 20,000 feet. And I can also do that with velocity so that I can get a good idea of that storm structure and the winds above it. Now, tonight down in Texas, and I put this into a comment earlier, but I wanted to show you guys. I took a screenshot using that technology down in Texas. And you see this little donut hole? That's when we had a tornado warning down in Texas. And this was, and I'll zoom this in just a little bit. This was radar indicated, and this is a great sign that this cell is developing a funnel cloud, a wall cloud, or a tornado because of this signature. So it's incredible technology that we have here with the GR2 analysis. Now, if I'm looking, say, for rotation, I can draw a big box around this thing, like so. And I'm going to switch this over to a tornado scan. And I get to pick out all of the circulations. Right now, these are just cloud tops up to 30,000 feet. I'm not seeing any kind of rotation. And I can go all the way around the storm. So I have this going on another computer while I'm talking to you guys, watching radar, and trying to keep our area protected. So I have a lot of things in motion every time that we go live for severe storms. So, this is definitely a great tool to have here at Subby's Weather Talk, and I'm just not going by a single radar going by the National Weather Service word for it. I try to get out these warnings a little bit ahead of time for you guys to give you ample amount of time to get to a safe spot. So lots of stuff going on here, kind of behind the scenes, and somebody had mentioned it earlier tonight, and I just kind of want to show you all some of the cool technology that we typically don't show on air when I go live. So let's jump over, and I will leave you guys with the overall forecast. So tomorrow we're going to have thunderstorms through around noon. We'll have breaks before a slight chance of thunderstorm for the afternoon. I'm not seeing a whole lot that's going to be happening tomorrow afternoon, but we'll keep an eye on it. We do have that marginal risk of severe weather in the morning. 76 for the high, 56 for the low. On Sunday, cloudy with the chance of meatballs. I'm just joking. Chance of thunderstorms after 8 a.m. So 71 and 59. It's going to be kind of a cloudy, gloomy day on Sunday. That'll be a good day to kick back and watch maybe a little bit of Netflix after church. Now, Monday through Wednesday, I'm not going to go any further on this because all 3 days are almost exactly alike. Definitely weather aware days. We're going to have multiple chances to see some strong, severe storms. Each day will be right around 80 to 83 degrees, and we'll have dew points in the upper 60s to near 70. So a lot of ingredients are going to be there for morning and afternoon and overnight thunderstorms that could be severe. So I'll be watching this closely. We'll be updating daily on what it's looking like as far as the severe weather goes. Temperature wise, we're in great shape. It's going to be nice temperature wise, but Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday definitely are going to be days that you'll probably be hearing me a lot over those 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So check out here real quick on chat. Got to get my boy, show you my dog while we're here. There's my boy. Come here. Say hi to everybody. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you tonight. So sorry about getting the late start this evening, but I want to give everybody a heads up. For if you're hearing some thunder in the morning, you'll know what's going on. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be having an update at least Sunday morning. If you don't hear from me, we'll do a live stream and talk about the severe weather chances. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for Mother's Day deliveries, absolutely. And don't forget your mothers on Sunday, guys. So we'll be going live Sunday morning. I'll give all you sons out there another reminder on Sunday morning that it's Mother's Day. Have a good night, guys. We'll talk to you soon.